there, and welcome to Rose Sky Tarot, and thanks for joining me today. Now, this reading is for the sign of Gemini for the 26th of November 2018. Now, it's a general reading and may not suit everyone, but hopefully something in it will reach you in some way. Enjoy. Let's get started. Alright, let's have a look at the top three cards here that came from the bottom of the deck. Now we have the Death card, we have Temperance in reverse, and we have the King of Wands also in reverse. Now, there is a change here, a transformation in your situation. Whether it's one that you brought on yourself or someone else brought on, but it's out of your control. This change is going to happen, and you're going to have to transform into this new beginning. And then moving on to the Temperance card in reverse, there's an imbalance in how you're feeling. Is it maybe that one person likes the situation more than another? Have things maybe got a little bit out of control? Is that why it's ended? And it's this is something that you're not happy about. Because you see yourself as the boss, the person who's in control. And this lack of control is not something that you like or want to tolerate. So things can become a little bit unsettled. Maybe you become a little bit bossy, a little bit overbearing even, and your ego takes over. But this change is going to happen, and this imbalance is something that is going to have to be lived with. You're going to have to deal with the consequences. Okay, I'm going to move these over to the side. Okay, let's get into the deeper reading here. Now we have the Page of Cups in reverse. Have you jumped in to something, probably a relationship, and gave it your all? You're all in with your feelings, and it's left you a little bit vulnerable. Even if you deny that you're feeling vulnerable, you have jumped in there, and maybe you're afraid of what's happening, or maybe things have happened and you've lost a little bit of innocence about the love relationship that you're in. Has the trust maybe diminished a little bit? And you put so much work into this relationship that maybe it's a little bit overpowering for you, because this is the Ten of Wands, in that you're trying to do so many things that you're exhausted. And you've built up a pleasant environment, something that has created happiness. And it may not be something that's luxurious, but it meets your needs and it makes you happy. But is this overbearing feeling that you're having about this environment that you've created for yourself? Is it too much? You know, are you about to let all of these things fall because holding on to all these things and keeping things in control is out of your reach maybe at this time? Now, it could be that you have decided that you need some time away from this situation, that you need to isolate yourself and think about where you are and where you want to go in your life. And in leaving this situation, have you cut this person out totally? Have you been quite cruel about not having any contact? Have you, been quite disciplined in your own actions and expect others to do the same? And this time out that you've had to review these things here, and maybe the cutting the other person out is something that you needed because having that person in your ear, you weren't getting to the root of what you actually wanted. You needed the isolation to realise that, have you maybe had your dreams all along? You just maybe found this time here overpowering. It was a bit too much, too many things happening at the one time. And has it maybe renewed your faith in this relationship and inspired you to give it another chance, to take a leap of faith and try to get these dreams back? And in moving down to the Four of Wands in reverse, have you maybe tried to get back together, to formally return to what you had and to celebrate it? But maybe this question of will we get back together and let people know, or celebrate this connection, has it maybe fallen on deaf ears? And looking at the Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Cups in reverse, are you maybe not getting the charitable reception that you thought you would? And maybe you're beginning to realise that you've lost this love, that the opportunity that you once had has slipped away. The separation that you enforced has taken its toll, and it could be that the resentment and the bitterness that this person here has felt has made them say no to the kind offer of let's get back together and celebrate life. Now, and moving on to the Knight of Wands and the Tower card, both in reverse. This rejection of love hasn't gone down well with you because you expect everything to be there for you. You expect things to happen the way you want them to happen. And when it doesn't, you're not a happy chappy. You know, all the arrogance and the bullying behaviour maybe arise, which can get out of control, and resentment and bitterness can build up. And all of those things do build to the point that it's a structure that can't hold itself together anymore. And because of this separation, because you have cut this person out for a while, that they have realised that maybe you're someone that they don't need in your life, in their life, sorry. And that's a hard pill to swallow for you. And that has knocked the stuffing out of you because of this loss. And it's not something that's going to be fixed very quickly. This is going to be a long-term recovery. And that's quite scary because you've lost something that you thought was going to be there in the long term. But now you have to find a new way. And moving on to the High Priestess. And it's a path that you find, it's an uncertain path. You won't know when these feelings of helplessness are going to turn off. Because life is like the river here. Streams come in and streams go out, and you know, sometimes the light that you receive isn't strong enough to show all of the secrets and mysteries that are behind it. So you're walking into an unrevealed future, an uncertain future. And it's not something that you can plan for, because you can make all of the plans that you want, that, you know, by tomorrow I'm going to do this, and by next week I'll have accomplished this. And you can write all those things down and expect it to work. But life is not like that. Life is something that you have to experience and go with the flow. And use your intuition and make the best of things. Now, it may be that some point in the future, all of this hurt and resentment on both sides may break down, and the upheaval and hurt feelings reduce, and that maybe, you know, there is a future there. But at this point in time, it's not something that you can foretell. I'm going to bring these three cards back in. The Death card, Temperance in reverse, and the King of Wands in reverse. Now, there is a change coming, and it's the one that you're going to have to transform into. You're going to have to manage how you work in this new experience, this new beginning. And It will knock you out of your routines, because there isn't going to be any control in this. Although you like having all of the control, and you're not a happy chappy when you don't. But there's more than you in this relationship. I'm going to leave it there, because this is a story that's unfinished. And I hope that something within this reading is able to offer you a little bit of advice, because this has been quite a challenging read. There's so many different, paths. This river is twisting and turning. Now please return another time, and hopefully there will be a more positive reading for you then, and I'll see you then. Bye.